Hi guys and welcome back to the channel. Today I've got two replays in the American Premium Auto-Reloading Medium Tank, the AMBT. Now this is a tank that came out last week and it's not that good of a tank. It's only really good in a very situational circumstance, and that is at mid to long range. If games are quick, games are just too fast for it and it can't keep up, which is a pain because the mobility's poor. The gun handling's not great for having to get shots in quickly when you're, turning the tank around in enough time. Basically, when you spot a target and you get your gun on target, it takes a little while with the 2.7 aim time to be able to get it in on target. And that means you just tend to miss, which is a pain. Shell velocity is nice, which is good, but the penetration at 215 is just not good enough for tier 10 or tier 9 battles even, and even against a lot of tier 8 heavies, for example. So you need the 270 odd pen APCR, which is why when you see a tier 10 lobby like this, it's automatically switched to APCR because it just takes far too long. And this is the biggest problem with the tank, is the reload. It takes far too long to reload the rounds into the gun, which means that, well, if you want to switch to premium, you're gonna have to reload the whole cylinder, which is it takes far too long, and it means that you end up wasting a 30, 40, 50 seconds of the game just to be able to get your top capacity back in. Like I say, I mean, the armour on the tank is pretty decent. If you get hull down, you can bounce a decent amount, which is nice. The upper plate is an auto ricochet, so if you think about the armour more like a Progetto 65 in terms of the upper plate, that's how it is. If you face Progetto 65s, you know how annoying it can be when you shoot those things, because you hit the upper plate and it just ricochets, and you sit there going, oh god damn it, how did that happen, right? As you see with Ricochet shot there, it's exactly like that. You just end up ricocheting shots really nicely off that upper plate, which is great. If they catch you in the lower plate, they're going to pen you because it's big, fat, and easy to hit. And the turret is really fairly solid when you hull down as well, but it does have a shot catch underneath the gun. So if you see this thing facing you, and you can only shoot the turret, just shoot underneath the gun, below the gun mantlet, and you can shoot straight underneath and pen it really easily. It's really the thing that kills it for me and makes it just not fun is the fact that it's so slow, and then the reload is also just not great. Adding to the fact that you've got derpy gun handling, meaning that if you miss a shot, it's exceptionally painful. And then also penetration issues. Fundamentally, I'm not a fan of tanks that feel like you need to just fire full prem when, you need to fire full prem just to feel full effective. And it's kind of annoying in that way. Obviously, just because the reload is so horrendous, it's annoying, generally. But like I say, the way to play this tank is to play at mid to long range, and you've just got to be exceptionally patient. If you are exceptionally patient, you can get the most out of this tank. But the reason I feel like it's not worth it to spend the gold on it is because there's a lot of tanks out there that do what this tank does, but they just do it better, quite frankly. And you can get them for similar prices, cheaper or a little bit more expensive, and you can just generally have a lot more fun in most situations, whereas this only really shines in maybe one situation, which is the situations like the ones you're going to see in this game and the next one, where you can be that mid to long range sniper, you can be not the main focus of people's attentions, and you can just keep waiting for the reloads to flow in so that you can do some damage. Because the 360 alpha is nice, you do feel like you're punching people, especially when you're against tier 10s. It's not like 320 or 240 or 250. You feel like you are doing some damage to them and you are hurting them when you do hit them. So in terms of a crew on this tank, I run Born Leader, Rapid Reload, Sixth Sense, Situational Awareness, Trap Mechanics, Steady Aim, Snapshot, Run and Gun, and Off-Road Driving. Off-Road Driving to help it with that horrendous mobility, help it get to the top speed with the traction system. The gun handling perks, because it really, really desperately needs the gun handling perks to make this gun somewhat usable. And then all the other perks are ones that you're always going to take anyway. And in terms of equipment, I actually run rammer, traction system, and optics. Optics because optics instead of vert stabs, because this tank doesn't quite get to that 445 meters view range without them, and being outspotted by everything, as well as you know, as well as being outmaneuvered by everything, as also, you know, out DPM'd by everything. I want it to be able to hit a certain amount of view range so I can actually at least spot for myself, not get out spotted, and be able to do damage in that way, or know at least what is shooting at me if it is. So I run optics instead of that. Rammer, obviously, because the DPM's horrific, you want to make it as good as possible, and the traction system, like I say, because this tank is so slow, and you want to make it better. As well as that, the track traverse isn't the best, so having that 10% extra track traverse that traction system gives you as well is lovely. And having 44 kilometers an hour top speed is a hell of a lot nicer than 40 kilometers an hour. You just, without the vert stabs, even though the gun handling is poor, you've just got to make sure that all your shots are fully aimed, and by doing so, if mid to long range, it won't affect you as much. You know, you can make sure your shots hit. So in this game on El Alamein, not El Alamein, Kasserine, hey, it's North Africa, right? We have managed to do 3.7k damage, and I decided to blow the final clip there to get the shots into the 13105, purely because I felt like he's going to get away from me. I'm never going to keep up with him, so I decided, you know what, while he's in range of my gun, I'm just going to dump the clip in so I can get a shot into him, and it worked out in the end because we didn't get a chance to fire at him ever again. I finished with the victory, 3 kills, 4.1k damage, 673 assistance, ace tanker, leather schleilers for killing 2 tanks 2 tiers higher, sniper medal, 1827 base XP. Yeah, this tank takes a lot of patience. It takes a lot of sort of knowledge and guesswork, really. By guesswork, what I mean by that is that when you are in the game, you feel like, okay, there's 2 times in that game where I dropped the clip, and that was against the 263 and against the 13105. Against the 263, I felt like, you know what, I'm probably not going to get the chance to shoot again, maybe, or it's going to have a lot of time between me firing the gun and also getting to fire at the next target. So I decided, you know what, with the 263 where it was, I'm just going to dump the clip, pad my damage, and then maybe I'll be able to get an extra shot or 2 into the next target. And it worked out that way because, well, there was only 2 tanks left. It was him and the 13105. And when it came to the 13105, like I say, he was in my gun sight for enough time to dump the clip, and I felt like that I probably wasn't going to get another shot at that guy if I just fired 1 shot at a time. And I could, again, pad my damage up that way. Because that's the way the auto-reloaders are as well. They are genuinely damage padders that I feel like tends to up their average damage a lot as well. Is that if you play it single shot a lot of the time and then you realise you're going to die, or you realise that the game's ending and you're not going to get a chance to fire at anyone else, you may be on like 2k damage. Yeah, for this tank, say you're on 2k damage, you get to the end of the game, you get to that final tank that's still a little bit healthy, you just dump the clip, you're up to 3k damage. And you may have had a very underwhelming game, but you managed to just, you know, get that extra bit of damage in, and it makes the game look that little bit better, and generally pads the average up a little bit. And that's the power of the auto-reloaders, really, is the ability to be single shot, or to then just dump the clip. So in this second game, we're on highway. Oh, that's a good point. In the last game, my Series S, again, decided not to record the audio of the game. So it wasn't you, it was me. There was no audio for that last game, unfortunately. Sorry about that. But there is in this one, fortunately enough. You can hear the gun firing, which is always nice. It always feels weird to listen to replays without any audio. But that's me. So far, we've pushed aggressively under the bridge on highway. This is the way to push it. You get under the bridge, even for a tank that's so slow as the AMBT. Get under the bridge, spot up, get damage off, and you can stay safe under that bridge. Now, you saw me dump the clip because I decided, you know what, I penned the one on the T57 Heavy, sure. But I decided to fire the final 2 at the light tanks because I could pen them with a single shot, or should I say with the standard round, 215 pen. But this E75 and other tanks like the T57 Heavy, I actually can't guarantee the E75 anyway, I cannot pen with my 215 standard pen. So it's like, okay, load gold. I made the mistake of loading standard. We're going to load the gold so we can actually pen these guys. So we're just making sure we stay patient again, not get frustrated with missing some of these shots, because, I mean, like some of the shots I've taken on the Vanguard, for example, were poor, and we're just waiting for the reload. He crashes into the building, which destroys his momentum, which means I can finish him off. Patience. Patience, patience, patience. Because that Vanguard I could have fired quite easily at any point with the other 2 shots on my clip, but my DPM would have been terrible, and that would have been a bad idea. So we get 1 into the E75 and decide, okay, I'm going to 2-tap you, get another shot into you before you decide to fully turn for me. And then I can pull back behind the ridgeline again because I can stay safe behind this ridgeline and reload my 2 shells in the clip. Fortunately enough, he gets finished off by the Gorilla 15 and, well, he's gone, so we don't have to worry about that anymore. It's all about knowing and deciding where you feel like you're going to be able to pull back safely and reload, where you're not going to get YOLO'd, stuff like that. That E75, I decided, you know what? I can pen him twice and stay safe. So you just drop those 2 shots and then pull back, not get done in by him. So we're up to 1600 damage with 1000 assistance. We're just trying to see anything that's along the AB line, and then we get tonked in the side by the TD. It's a bit painful, but it is what it is. We ended up losing the ammo rack, so we repair that. That's another thing that this tank loves to do, and that is lose its ammo rack. It's kind of painful. It makes the reload absolutely horrific. And yeah, thank God for reusable repair kits, right? You can actually keep that fine. So we try and get the shot on the light tank. Unfortunately, it was a very chancy shot and it was never going to go in, so we missed that guy. Just waiting for the reload to go in again, and we're going to see if we can get a shot at this 907 that's in the open. So we get 1 into his side, which damages his ammo rack, and he gets absolutely obliterated. Jesus. Now it's time. I'm deciding, you know what, I know there's a Death Star somewhere along the 9 line, but I'm going to move up to this ridge line over here. From this ridge line, if he's dropped back into the water, I can probably stay safe. I can spot him up, and I can use this ridge line in front of me to get shots at the guys down on the right hand side. But there's the Death Star. He's up on top of the ridge. We get a shot into him. Unfortunately, it only tracks him, which is really annoying. I'm just going to wait for my reload again because I don't want to blow the clip yet. We need the clip. Now we've got the shot in, I can clip this guy out. So we get 1 shot in, we get 2. Then he's on 124, and I think, you know what, this Super Conqueror is going to finish him. And it's going to be one of those annoying moments where I fire the gun just as the Super Conqueror kills him. So I don't want to waste my DPM. Screw it, I'm not going to kill the FV215B183. We're just going to wait for the reloads. Again, it's patience and sort of that know-how of just going, hey, 124 damage for killing my DPM. Is it worth it? Probably not. Was the Super Conqueror going to kill him maybe before I got to fire anyway? Probably. So it was like, whatever. I mean, I could have fired and killed him. As you saw, we had enough time. But again, I just didn't want to waste the DPM. So now we're coming over. It's like, okay, the C50M over here is ready. I'm at 3k damage. You know what? I feel like having 4k. He's now in a position where only I can shoot him. We track and pen him. We shoot him again. And we finish him off. And we get a tier 10 out of the game there. We may have just killed our DPM again. And the 3 tanks in front of us are over here. But, you know what? It's fine. We're up to 4k damage, 2k assistance. Now, again, I'm unspotted. And I could shoot this 50 TP. But I decide, you know what? I'm going to wait. See if I can get a second shot in so that I can possibly have another shot at the light tanks. Or get 2 shots into this guy. Because he doesn't seem to be losing health that quickly. We end up getting shot because the guy behind me is spotted. I think this guy's going to move forward dead quick, and I end up jerking my aim. And I end up not aiming at him, but still hitting him, because either bad RNG, generally, on the shell, or that was actually server delay, which means that, you know, it actually fired at where I was aiming, literally the split second before, and I get lucky and I kill him. That's what it is. That was the pain of an auto-reloader right there, because I decided, you know what, I could shoot him and kill him. Or, no, I could shoot him and get, like, 300 damage on this guy right this second. But I'm, like, less than 2 seconds away from getting that second shell in. It'd just feel painful if I did that and blew that reload. And we ended up waiting, which meant we only did, like, 30 damage to him instead of the 360 we could have done. Is what it is. And we would have actually had time to get shot on this Tusk anyway. Because we're fully loaded. But I thought I was never going to get a chance to shoot this guy. The Super Conqueror misses him. We come over. It's like, we're never going to miss, right? Okay. Whole tank in the sight. Goes to the far left of the reticle and does track damage only. Is what it is. Bad RNG. Yeah. Victory. Finished top on the team. 4 kills. 3.9k damage. Nearly 4k damage. Nearly 2k assistance. Ace tanker. 2k base XP, a really nice game for the AMBT, a tank that you have to be exceptionally patient with. It takes a hell of a lot to get the most out of it, and is it ever worth to buy? I don't think it is, no, to be honest, because I think it's only good in one certain situation, And there's a lot of tanks out there that do exactly the same thing and are just far better at it. So as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.
A great success!